We have a lot to talk about today. So I guess let's start out with Ryan. Ryan, what would you say is the most important thing to know about these child tax credits?
Well, this is two things. You asked me one, I'm giving you two. So the first one is that it has been increased for 2021 to $3,000 per child, or $3,600 if your kid is under 6 years old. And number two, they are paying out half of these in advance in monthly payments, including for the last half of 2021.
And can you explain quickly why they're doing that?
Well, this is part of the last stimulus plan that they passed. And so the thought process is just to get more money into the hands of the consumers. So they're basically getting their tax refund in advance. So when they normally would get it, when they file their tax return in February or April of the following year, they're just getting more of it earlier.
And Scott, why is this beneficial to families versus getting it at the end of the year?
Well, look, a lot of families are struggling and trying to recover since the COVID virus. And then, of course, we have the Delta variant. So families are just simply struggling. And many of those are really taking advantage of this money coming in sooner than when it typically would have come. And that's when you file your taxes. This is a credit that would have been included when you file your taxes. Now, there are some folks that they don't need it as much as others, so they're going to still wait and collect that as a lump sum refund when they file their taxes, as long as they were sure to go ahead and make sure they took themselves off of the list to receive those early payments.
Scott, would you say there's a financial benefit to either choice here, either getting the money now or waiting?
Well, I think the correct answer is it depends. Everyone's situation is different, especially when it comes to finances. And so everyone needs to take a look at their own situation and make the best decision for themselves. I think ideally, if you could use the extra cash to get by, then don't worry about the financial decision being made. Do what you need to do for you and your family. For folks that don't need it, it might be better to wait until next year to collect that as a lump sum refund. But again, make sure you're making a decision based on your specific unique situation.
Ryan, we've had some questions start coming in, and we've heard this since this started months ago. Someone texted us saying, my niece has not received her child tax credit in 2 months. What would be like a common reason why people wouldn't have received this money?
Well, the IRS is trying to best match sending out that refund based off of how they filed their tax return. And so if they by chance happen to move, then of course the government or the Postal Service is going to send that check back to the IRS. Or if let's say they were getting it deposited onto a debit card and they're no longer using that debit card, that could be another reason why they're not receiving that return. The last reason that could possibly occur is that when they first started sending these the advance payments out, they were doing it based off the last filed tax return. And in this case, it could have been their 2019 tax return. And the deadline for filing tax returns is, of course, tomorrow, October 15th, the extended deadline, I should say. And they could have filed their tax return after the payments had started in July, and that changed their tax situation and thus changed the amount that they're going to receive as an advance credit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but just to be very clear here for parents out there who are wondering, there is nothing that you have to do to start getting this money. It's actually the opposite. If you don't want to get the money right now, there's something you have to do.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. If you do not want it, you need to go to the IRS portal for the child tax credit and opt out.
Scott, I think I'm concerned about the families that don't know about this because either they don't watch the news or they don't keep up with just the news of the day happening, because a lot of people are going to get to the end of the tax season and say, where's all this money that I'm normally getting?
Well, that very well will be the case for some folks. And of course, the good news there is that it's not too late. They can claim that on their taxes for this year when they put those taxes together next year. We just want to make sure that we claim it at that time. And those folks that missed out on receiving that money throughout this year will at least receive a sizable refund when they exercise that credit that they're entitled to.
All right, Ryan, Scott, one segment down, one more to go. We're going to take a quick break. Keep texting us your questions, and we will see you in just a couple of minutes.